Hi everybody, this is Bogus Reviews, and today I'm going to be doing a review on the Marvel Legends Captain Marvel Nick Fury figure. So before we take a look at Fury, let's take a look at the accessories that he comes with. So first up, he comes with the right arm of the Kree Sentry. So far, I have 3 of the figures out of this wave, nothing to connect so far, the other 2 are the comic figures. The other piece I have is a leg and a head, so nothing to connect yet. And I think it looks really nice. They did a nice job with the metallic paint on the arm there. But from the pictures I've seen, the Build-A-Figure's a letdown. So once I get more of that, we will see. He comes with this pistol. And we've seen this used before. What was the first figure it came with? I think the first figure it came with was Ultimate Nick Fury back from like 2008. I think that was the first time this was used. But I'm actually glad Hasbro is using this instead of using like a fake gun. It's actually a real looking gun. But it looks really nice. Doesn't have any paint shading or anything to it. It's just cast in black. Now, with this gun, it's kind of tough to get it in his hand. And the reason why I don't want to put it in his hand is because he comes with Goose the cat. And it goes in his hand. So you can fit the gun in his right hand, but it is going to stretch his hand out. Because Goose the cat has, well, you'll see in a second. Sometimes this will stay in his left hand. You can just put his finger through the trigger there. And kind of squeeze it in his hand. And it'll kind of stay 50-50, like it's kind of loose in his hand, but it will stay. So now let's get him to stand there. Not going to stand. There, now he's going to stand. Okay, and for his final accessory, well, it's kind of a minifigure. He comes with Goose the cat. And I'm really excited to see this in the movie. I figured this is probably how Nick Fury loses his eye. I don't know. A lot of people are speculating about that. But the cat looks really nice. And it has a lot of sculpt to his fur. It looks really realistic. They didn't use the print tech, though. So there's not a whole lot of paint shading to him. I think they did a good job where the like whitish fur, kind of like tan fur, fades into the orange. I think that looks really nice. And he has a little bit of paint on his paws there. But he's actually a dangerous alien that just happens to look like a house cat. And right there you see that Nick Fury's picking him up by the scruff of the neck. And that's why I don't want to stretch this hand out, because you wedge it in there, and then he can hold Goose the cat. And he can hold it really nicely. Like, it doesn't drop out of there. He doesn't drop out of there at all. So I really like that. It just looks really awesome. I just really love that. Now, originally in the comics, his name was Chewie, but they changed it in the movie to Goose, which I'm told is the co-pilot from Top Gun, kind of like how Chewbacca is the co-pilot from Star Wars. Not really sure why the name changed, but it's basically the same character. But that looks really nice. Now let's take a look at the head sculpt. So the head sculpt looks really awesome. Like, Hasbro did a great job of capturing the likeness of Samuel L. Jackson. Or a young Samuel L. Jackson, I should say. Right there, at the peak of his hair, Hasbro didn't paint all of that on. But that's an easy fix. I can probably cover that up myself. You know, nothing major there. But the hair is sculpted nicely. It does have, like I said, right there at the peak of his hair right there. And then some places in his hair are missing paint. And they painted his ear right there. Like, that's pretty bad right there. You probably won't see it, so if you keep the figure... Oh, there the gun dropped out of his hand. I knew it would. But that's an easy fix. Now the ear, that's going to be a complicated one, because when I'm painting figures, the hair behind the ear is always the hard part, because I always paint the ears, then I have to repaint it a million times until I get it just right. So I'll probably leave the ear like that, but the rest of the hair is a pretty easy fix. Now, one thing weird I'm seeing is his eyes are green, like a lime green. And I'm wondering if that is on purpose or not. People are saying he's a Skrull, but I don't think it's a Skrull. If anything, he might get like a transfusion of Kree blood. That's how he lived so long? I don't know. Or that's how he lived through Winter Soldier? I don't know. It's just kind of weird. You really can't tell, like, from back here, you can't tell. But up close, his eyes are green. Could just be the printing tech, because sometimes that printing tech kind of doesn't get everything perfectly. Like, his lips right here, that used the printing tech, and it's not completely on his bottom lip right there. And it's kind of wavy. So that's the printing tech for you. So it could just be the printing tech. It could be that it has something to do with a spoiler from the movie. Who knows? I might just be looking too much into it. Now, the body is the standard suited body that we've seen, but the torso is retooled. He has the holster right there for his gun. It doesn't actually go in it. That would have been really awesome if his gun would have actually went in it, but it doesn't. Because I would have preferred having his gun in that holster than in his hand, because like I said, he holds Goose so well, and it doesn't fall out of his hand that I want to leave it like that. You know, I don't want to put the gun in his hand and stretch it out. You might be able to use a Walking Dead pistol. Since they're kind of tiny, you could probably get away with using that and not stretching his hand out that much. But it does have a little bit of sculpt detail that's different. I will show that right here. This is the, was this the first suited body? Did this come first or did Chameleon come first? Either way, all the suited bodies are the same. And inside you don't get anything, it's just the shirt. And the feet are different. These joints right here move side to side, whereas the original one doesn't. It just moves up and down and has the rocker. So these move side to side now too. So they did improve the articulation just on the feet, but for the most part it's the same. The legs are the same. The feet are different. Well, I suppose not all of the legs are the same, because the lower legs right here are hollow so that they can have that joint up in there so that it can move side to side. But that's really the only difference with this figure. And that's pretty gappy now that I'm viewing it from the side. It's not as noticeable from the left side here, but from the right side, that's pretty noticeable. But overall, I just really like this figure. Now, with the original Nick Fury, I still think it's a pretty good likeness of Samuel L. Jackson. Like, I still see the likeness. I mean, if they redid it today with the face printing tech, I'm sure it'd be even better. But I still know who it is. You know, it's not like the previous figures that don't use the face printing tech that look horrible. So now let's go over his articulation. He has a ball-jointed head, and this joint is really fluid. Like, it moves really easily. Like, not easily to the point where it just moves freely, but it just moves really nicely. You know, it's not a super, super tight joint. But he can look up all the way. He can't look down all the way. He can move his head side to side. He has ball-jointed shoulders that can move all the way out. Well, of course now he drops Goose because I'm doing the articulation here. He has swivel at the bicep, double-jointed elbow that can bend in all the way. He has swivel at the wrist that can move side to side and up and down. Now let's put Goose back in his hand there. There. Well, wait. Kind of have it cockeyed there. There. Oh. Now I'm dropping it. Okay, let's put this back in again. Okay, there. So he has an ab crunch that can't really move back that far at all, but he can crunch forward all the way, and the tie doesn't get in the way of that. It's pretty soft and it's pliable. He has swivel at the waist that can move side to side. He has ball jointed hips that can move out that far. Let's move that up. He can kick forward all the way, and he can kick back just a little bit. He has swivel at the thigh, double jointed knee, swivel at the ankle that can move side to side, up and down. And the up and down movement is also a lot better than the Tony Stark figure and Coulson. And Bruce Banner, that's the other suited figure that I have. But it has a lot better articulation, like it moves a lot better. And he has an ankle rocker. So overall, the articulation is pretty good. Definitely better than the previous figures. So now let's do some size comparisons. Let's see if he can stand with Goose. Let's move his head to where he's looking forward. And, yeah, I don't know if he's going to stand. There. Stay. Okay, he's staying for the moment here. Here he is to the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. 3-pack Nick Fury. For some reason he came with a machine gun, even though he hasn't used them. To my knowledge, he hasn't used a machine gun in the movies. Maybe I need to rewatch the ones with him in it. I know he's used pistols, but I don't think he's ever used a machine gun. But there he is. There young Nick Fury is next to old Nick Fury. And like I said, I still see the likeness to Samuel L. Jackson there. Granted, it would be better with the face printing tech, but I still see the likeness. Here he is next to the same pack's Agent Coulson figure. And Agent Coulson is also coming back for Captain Marvel. Ronan is too. I'm just super excited for this movie. They digitally de-aged Clark Gregg and Samuel L. Jackson for this role. And I think that is really awesome, if only it worked that way in real life. And then here he is next to comic Captain Marvel. I do not have the movie Captain Marvel yet. I'm working on acquiring that as we speak. But I should be getting it here soon, like sometime soon. I'm not going to say I'm going to get it like right away, but I'm working on it. So, overall, I would highly recommend this figure. It is just really, really awesome. My only complaint is that he didn't come with an alternate hand to hold his gun, or an alternate left hand. I mean, honestly, an alternate right hand to hold this gun would have been nice. But you don't really need him to hold the gun. He just looks really awesome holding Goose there. But, yep, totally recommend this figure. It is awesome. So, that's my review. If you like this review, be sure to hit the like button, subscribe to my channel, and comment down below. Thanks for watching.